first female rector in the Diocese of Atlanta.
Actually in the Deep South, but hey,
Okay,
who's counting?
And it really, like, so would you say Province 4, or would you say?
No, there was a woman rector in my home diocese, the Diocese of North Carolina. I don't remember when she became a rector, but yeah.
But when you say the Deep South, are you talking about like Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama,
Florida, Mississippi,
Mississippi?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was plenty of challenges, or I'm sure there was. If I had to guess, there may have been some hateful things that were said to you.
There were, not so much once I got to Epiphany, but there was one experience where the local Coalition for the Apostolic Ministry and Anti-New Prayer Book group invited me to come over to St. Martin's, which is where their home was at the time. And I asked a couple of vestry people from Epiphany to come too, because they're the story. You focus on the person that they choose, but they're the ones that made the hard decision. So anyway, that came, and I wanted some friends in the room. And somebody, how dare you say that you're actually a real priest? And I just very calmly said, because I was ordained by a bishop in apostolic orders. It was like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about for the other person. But yeah, there are also horrible stories. But
so, Claiborne, what year were you ordained?
Deacon in 78, priest in 79. I started seminary before the General Convention passed.
So you started seminary before it was, So tell me, I'm curious to know why.
Well, the bishop sent me to seminary. It wasn't like I just said, I'm going to go to seminary. We had a year-long, 4 hours a week, what was called experiment in ministry, to do discernment for a full year. And then the few, the chosen, were permitted to, or invited and urged to go on to seminary. During that pre-seminary year, the last quarter, I was at All Saints, and they assigned me to the chaplaincy program at Georgia Tech, and I was asked by the chaplain to go visit all the people that had said they were Episcopalians that were freshmen. So I go and I knock on a door, and this kind of bulky guy with a real Southern accent, I tell him who I am, and the Episcopalian isn't there. And I said, well, how about you? How are you doing? He said, well, not so great. So anyway, I went in and we talked for a little bit, and he was very homesick and from South Georgia, and very much missed his older sister. And he ended up talking to me about the fact that a lot of the cheerleaders were trying to get him to have sex with them. And he really was not prepared or interested in doing that. And as I reflected on that, I thought, I was the big sister in that moment. I don't think that's a story he might have told to a man. So that was like, wow, gender really makes a difference in people's feeling safe. There have been times in my life where I felt like, I'm thinking about college days actually, where I felt like I was a token or like a charm on a charm bracelet, here's our woman priest. But that's been long gone. That doesn't happen anymore, and hasn't for decades. I do think that people's trust over time with this new creature with the horrible hot plastic collar on, it did deepen, and it certainly wasn't just women who came with us. I mean, even then, most of the leaders were men, lay men, and the head of the search committee, later the senior warden at Epiphany. I'd been at Holy Innocents for 6 years before I was called to Epiphany. He said at some point, I don't remember where, he said, I have 2 daughters, and damn if I'm going to turn down a woman because of her sex, because my daughters deserve to pursue whatever God calls them to do. That felt like some amazing support.